Hey, y'all. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I haven't seen y'all in a while. I'm going to chill for a second. I got some auspicious thoughts, a new series, updates. Just so much is going on, and I want to share that. But I do only have a little bit of time. Got to pick my baby up from dance. So I'm wait a minute before I dive into this. But y'all know I can't help it. Once I get going, once I start feeling something, I just got to jump out with it. Today's topic: what's healing got to do with it? What's healing got to do with it? And it's a part of my new series that I'm going to do. Black love, life, and legacy. Black love, life, and legacy. Look, I'm trying to wait. I can't even help it because I want to start talking. I'm about to. Because I don't got that much time. Folks can catch up. I'll repeat some things, my stories and different things. They just come to me, right? And so the series came. First off, wait a minute. Who am I? Who's I be? Auspicious. And so you're tuned in to Auspiciously Speaking. And Auspicious has some auspicious thoughts. Auspicious, favorable, conducive to success. I hope that you can use my words. I hope that you can find favor in my words and use them to reach your level of success. Black love, life, and legacy. For those of you who do not know, professionally, I am a therapist, social worker. So I've been working in my community for about 15 years plus. I've done all kinds of, I work private, I've worked nonprofit, I've done all kinds of different things, working with families, working with individuals, doing reentry, doing LDA, doing CPS. And so I've really been able to capture so many perspectives, really have some intimate moments with families and individuals from our community. And that's where my love for us came, my people. It took me a long time to be able to open up and be like, my work, I know that it's dedicated to Black people, Black families, the Black challenges and things that we're going through to make it to where we want to be. But after seeing what our families and our systems are looking like, I'm looking at how hard it is, how challenging it is for us really to love, for us really to connect when love is the answer. So that is where Black life, love, and legacy come from. And the topic today of healing. What's healing got to do with it? Everything. It has everything to do with it. Because every avenue that I've worked doing and now ultimately doing therapy, healing is everything. Life. It wasn't until I healed, and it wasn't until I started to ask the questions of why am I doing what I'm doing? How did I get here? And how the hell I keep fucking up? Like, for real. Getting the results that I did not want in my relationships, at work, getting good ass jobs and losing them, fucking up, or not even losing them, but losing myself because I'm so focused on, I need this opportunity. I want to be here and I want to make this happen. Being the only person that looked like me in spaces and not having the answers. And that had everything to do with not trusting myself, not trusting the people around me. And that had everything to do with the family system that I came from, the type of relationships and friendships that I had, my failure in college, like all these different things that were, like this wall behind me, these bricks, how they stack up and creates a foundation, a solid foundation. All this shady shit that was a part of my foundation that was fucking up everything until I stopped and was like, how in the world do I keep getting this same result? What's insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's what we're not going to do. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm like, we need to have these conversations about what's happening, about what's not happening, about what we're fearful of, about what's ruining our relationships, about what is challenging us to live a life we love surrounded by people who love us. to talk about why in the hell I can't find love, why I don't feel loved, why I'm finding it challenging to love myself, and how that's affecting my legacy, my children, my family, myself, and me moving on, because some of us are not here anymore. We've decided that I can't do it. I'm too overwhelmed and I'm not going to do it. So we've decided to stop our life in love, to remove any possibility of being loved, and concluding our legacy with suicide. The depth of mental health runs deep in our community. And so today I really want to talk about what we can do, what we can do, the solutions of getting through how to live a life more representative of who you are, what you want, and how you want to live that life, who you want to be in that life with you. And so now we back. What's healing got to do with it? Everything. Now, healing is a continuous journey. Healing is a continuous journey. It is not something that I can say now at my 30 plus years of life that I'm healed, I'm good, I'm done, there's nothing left for me to do. No. Every day it is something to heal from. After I figure out why I need to heal, I need to continuously put one foot in front of the other to make sure that I'm making decisions that address, that keep in mind the triggers, the traumas that I am healing from. Because baby, it's going to keep coming up. Let me tell you. So, life. I plan to do this live at 1. What time is it? 2:30. 2:36 to be exact. So that is an hour and a half after my expectations. Ooh, expectations. A lot of the stress and trauma that we have come from expectations that were not met. What healing will show you is that those expectations were misplaced in the first place. And I'm going to stick to me because I statements are huge. They're very important. And with healing, I learned the only thing I can control is me, baby. I can't control nobody else. I can control me. Which is why I say radical accountability. I'm going to hold myself accountable. I set this time in my head. Y'all, I'm always late. My super ADHD self, always late, right? And there's things that I could have done to prepare. But when I woke up this morning, I was stressed out. I was just angry. Have you ever just woke up angry? Just pissed off. And now, it's not just like, I just want to be angry, but these things that I couldn't control that kept happening. Trying to carry so much. I'm a recovering people pleaser. And I was raised in a system where as a black woman, you're strong and independent. You got this. You take care of it. Healing had to show me that I needed to ask for help. But in the midst of this morning, it was a lot on my plate. I know that I had to do this live. I had to get up and do a training at 8. I think it started at 8 a.m. Y'all, I was up at like 2. I'm going to stop playing. It really was like 4 this morning. I still was up. I couldn't sleep. Got an idea, working on projects that I'm trying to really get done and get things moving. And so I was up. So now I've set myself up for failure, really, because I took a nap earlier that day. So that's why I'm up later, working on things. And then knowing that I have to get up in the morning, I'm short fused. So then I was met with, ooh, you forgot this. Ooh, you need to do this. Oh, fuck. So all these things started collapsing onto me. And I'm like, I became overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do with that. I was so overwhelmed. And what happens when we get overwhelmed? Fuck that. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't showing up. I was late to my training. Honestly, if I'm being real, I ain't going to go to the training anyway. And so I really think that subconsciously I overslept because I didn't want to do it. But I needed to do it to get to the next steps of things that I have going on. So I'm self-sabotaging. I know. You understand. I know. But all of those was a snowball effect of getting to where I needed to be. And so now I'm overwhelmed and I can't show up how I need to. My head was all cloudy. It was hurting. I couldn't participate. I didn't want to participate even more than I did the day before, dreading the training. So now this whole time I'm sitting in this training, just annoyed because I have to be there. Healing will show you where the triggers are. And just because you're triggered does not mean that you're targeted. Because one thing, when we're triggered, now we're upset. Now anybody that comes in contact with us got to feel the raft of all that pressure. And it was just like, this ain't nobody fault but my own. So I had to work through that. How do you work through that? Healing shows you what you need to do for yourself to be able to show up. I needed to breathe. I crawled, like army crawled through that training. I got through it. But then I needed a break. Because what I say, at 1, I was supposed to do this live. The training ended at 12:25. I hated every moment of it. So now I am full of like all this anguish and anxiety and feeling all this pressure. Because also in the midst of that training, I had to go pick my daughter up and take her to dance. That's what I forgot. So it just was compounding all these things, and I did not have room to breathe. Now I have this mom guilt. Now I have this shame. I have this disappointment, and I'm frustrated and overwhelmed at the responsibilities that I knew that I already had. But I did not work with myself to meet myself where I needed to be so that I could be successful. But I needed that break. So after that training, I took a cold shower. I took my time. I cleared my mind. I had a snack. You know, these are the things that make me feel good. I love food. I needed to shower. That just rinses off the stress and anxiety, at least some of it. Got the food. Talked to myself about what I needed to do. And then was like, okay, let me plan out the rest of my day. These are the things that I'm going to do. And then got to it. Removing the expectation of perfection is my savior. It is what will help you get through what you need to so that you can show up. Even if you don't feel like it's your best self. It's the self that you have, and it will equip you to stop making excuses. Because excuses build bridges to nowhere. And that's why when we're looking at our life, when we're looking at how we're loving, when we're looking at our legacy and all we are showing up to those steps with excuses, you're not getting anywhere. Not getting anywhere. And that affects how I live my life, how I show up in my relationships, and in all of these dynamics. This life, y'all, I don't know if you noticed on my page, I ain't been talking. But I know that this is my gifts. I know that this is what I'm supposed to do when it comes to Black families, when it comes to Black love, when it comes to showing us how to leave a legacy. This is my work. So if I got so overwhelmed and frustrated that I did not show up to do this live that I told myself I was going to do because I need to step out and show up for my community in this way, I would have felt even more defeated. Because I'm a creative. I'm an emotional creature. So much is tied into my work and my voice and my gift. I've been hiding it. And I think a lot of you have been too. And the more that you dig into self, understanding self and what you need, the more you'll be able to stomach, to have the mental capacity to get through the frustrations and the everyday things that we cannot control, so that you can do what you need to do. You can create the life you love and surround it with people who love you, right? Right away, right? What's healing got to do with it and love? I told you I had to pick my baby up. So I was frustrated because I forgot about dance, and I consistently forget about it. I need reminders for everything. And so this morning, I let her stay at a family member's house. And of course, it's early. They didn't stay there playing dang on Roblox or whatever, you know. So I'm calling. I had to make like 10 phone calls. I did not get her. So I'm overwhelmed and frustrated because I'm doing this in the midst of my training. Now I can't even focus. Can't focus on what I need to, the things that I don't want to do anyway. But I couldn't reach her, and it became overwhelming. And then that guilt and that shame, because she loves dance. She wants to show up, and it's my responsibility to make sure that she gets there. I was overwhelmed. So when she finally called me back, I was so dead, so dry, just, you know, I was trying my best to remove the disdain from my aura, or at least enough to like let her know that I'm about to come get you. We got to get ready for dance. But I was so dry, so dead. Luckily, I've been working with my children on emotional regulation and having open conversation. So she heard it and I didn't even know. So we get home. And she said, you know, she immediately went to her room, got dressed, made her lunch, like all these things. It's a really long time frame that she has to be present. And as she's making her sandwich, she says, Mommy, when you called this morning or when we were on the phone, were you okay? Like, and so I wasn't in direct eye shot of her. And I was like, fuck, you know. But I created the space for us to be open, for her to openly address that. Like, she felt it, she see it. She's a representation of me. And it was a moment of fuck, you know. I don't want her to feel like it's her. She did nothing. She did absolutely nothing to me. And I don't want her to believe that I'm angry with her. I'm really so upset at myself. So upset at myself. And because I love her, I do not want her to think that she's the problem. But she knew. And she addressed that with me. But how many relationships do we have with loved ones, with our children, with our husbands, with our wives, with our cousins, with our siblings, with our coworkers, where you notice something is off and you don't say anything, or you don't feel comfortable saying anything? It's through the depth of my love for her and her love for me that she was like, whoa, something off. We need to address this. And I'm so happy that she did, because as I'm internally working and I've been working to get myself where I need to be, she called me out. What's healing got to do with love? You realize that every goddamn thing ain't about you. It ain't about you. My baby knew that she wasn't the problem. She ain't did nothing to me. And even if she did, she was checking in like, hey, we good? Because you don't look right now. And I had to let her know, like, nah, baby. But I knew what I needed. My love language is touch, is intimacy. So we're talking, and when I dropped her off, I just made sure that I got one of the biggest hugs, because I'm out of balance internally right now. And so loving myself enough to be honest with my daughter about not being right, holding myself accountable to say that, baby, it wasn't you, it's really me. I'm overwhelmed because of the things that I had to do this morning, and I was unprepared. Let her know that she wasn't the problem. And I further went to say, you can help me with my actions by, baby, give me a hug. I love you. Have a great time. And not allowing the depth of my emotion, my frustration, my angst, my anxiety, my anger to take over what we could have in that moment. Because she's been gone for 3 days. This is the first time I'm seeing her in 3 days. And if I met her with frustration and anger, she would really be confused. It also would affect how she performed at her dance practice. How often do we have arguments, that we have disagreements, disconnections with people that we love, that we care about? And then now I can't go to work. I can't show up. I'm just sitting at my desk thinking, ooh, so frustrated and overwhelmed. Healing, baby. Taking a look at, how did you get there? That lie your ass told about getting gas in the morning when you was on E and you should have went last night. Then you woke up late. Then the kids were uncooperative. Then you forgot that you didn't have this and you needed to stop. And oh my God, it just keeps going. So now you get all the way to work and you're frustrated. And then your mate got the nerve to say, baby, don't forget. You about to just lose it. About to lose it over something so minor. Something that any other day would not have overwhelmed you, would not have taken you out. Because remember, just because you're triggered does not mean that you're being targeted. It does not mean that your baby, doesn't mean that your partner, doesn't mean that your sibling is coming at you, trying to chop your throat, demeaning you, trying to mislead you, trying to outdo you, trying to compete with you, trying to attack you. That is not what that means, baby. Your system is telling you that it's something in there that's being triggered. And for myself, perfectionism, people pleasing, abandonment, all of that was just having a was it tornado? I don't know, something that was chaotic as hell on the inside. And I still needed to show up. I still needed to show up here today because I said I was going to do that. I used to abandon myself all the time, sabotage myself all the time, make plans and not keep them, be flaky as fuck to myself. If I'm not doing the things for myself, how in the hell can I expect someone else to do them for me? These are things that I need to do for myself, which is why healing is your responsibility, which is why when it comes to all these podcasts and conversations about whose job is it, it's yours. It's yours. Yeah, they ghosted you. Yeah, that was some fucked up shit. Yeah, they could have. Yeah, they should have. But they didn't. And you are the one left picking up the pieces. You are the one that's overwhelmed. You're the one that's frustrated. You're the one that's angry. And they don't even know. It's been so many times that I am pissed. And you know, right? You looking at them, they got the nerve, the fucking audacity to want you to do something for them. When they know what they did. When they know, maybe they don't. Maybe they do. But they likely don't know that it's your abandonment wound that had you frustrated that they didn't show up to your engagement. It's your people pleasing and healing from overextending yourself for them. Those 5 times when they didn't ask you to, when you could have said no, but you didn't. And so now that they didn't show up for you, you are pissed, resenting, offense, bombastic, side-eye. You know, but that's nobody's fault but yours, baby. Healing will show you where your boundaries need to be. Healing will teach you how to stand up for yourself, how to say no and allow that to be a complete sentence. Like literally, I don't want to do it. I do not feel obligated to do anything for anybody, my kids included, my parents, my siblings, my workplace. If I don't want to do that, I'm not going to do it. Or I'll figure out how. Well, I can't do all of that, but I can do this. Because any time that I've overextended myself, showed up, stopped what I'm doing, like, I was pissed the whole time, irritated. They didn't got me to show up to this shit and they late. Well, baby, you said you was going to show up. You show up to things 15 to 30 minutes early so that you could be on time. Like, this is the time that you committed. If you didn't want to commit that time, why'd you commit it? And these are the types of questions that I had to ask myself because I kept being in situations where my needs weren't being met. Well, I was not feeling loved. Well, I was not feeling prioritized. But those are also all of the things that I was not doing for myself. Once I started addressing healing, once I started asking myself the questions, all of that has everything to do with the legacy, with the imagery, with the imprint that you leave on the world. Immediately, right? My example about today and like my daughter being late, that's my legacy. If I had not been so intentional about emotional regulation and allowing them to be open and come to me, she would have fed off of my energy that was fucked this morning and took that with her to dance practice. It's what, maybe 15 to 30 other people at dance practice. Now she's infecting them with this energy. I went to this trauma training. It was a maternal health trauma training for doulas. And it talked about how it impacts our DNA, the stress, trauma, negative experiences, and the overwhelm during pregnancy, and how it affects generations. Generational curses, right? Things that we're born with. I did not have a say in the bullshit that I had to grow through and heal through. I received that through the womb, through my family system, through my environment, through my neighborhood. I've lived in the same neighborhood for my whole life. In a 2-3 block radius. I can walk to all of my family members' houses. I can walk the house that I grew up in. Like, everything is still here. I had to figure out what the challenge was and not continue it. I come from an era like, baby, you are a child. You are seen and not heard. I would not have dared call my mama out about her attitude. Now, my baby did it real cool. You know, are you okay? You know, but I don't know. Y'all don't know my mouth. I don't know if I would have been able to get it out that way. But the point is that it was not acceptable. None of your business. Mind your business. This is adult things. This is adult things to figure out. But it impacts your legacy and what you leave behind. Because of that, I grew up not voicing my opinion. What did I say earlier? My gift is my voice in speaking and talking. I'm a freaking therapist. I'm a facilitator. I'm an educator. I'm a doula. Like, come on. I'm a public speaker. I'm an award-winning public speaker. And it took years for me to open that box because of things that I experienced when I was younger. But at this training, right, we did this activity and she had like coffee filters. And I think it may have been like maybe 3 to 5 of them stacked up. She told us to write on there the traumas that we'd experienced during pregnancy and into childbirth. So I'm just writing. We had markers, you know, and I'm doodling, all this extra shit. I wish I had brought it. Again, unprepared. It's in my office. So we write all these things down. And because I do a lot of trainings and I love learning new things, I knew what was going to happen. I knew exactly what it was. And so as we started, right, she's like, okay, let's see what you got. We done wrote all these things, these traumas and experiences that we had during childbirth. Take the top layer off. Wow. It's pretty much the same imprint from the top one. Peel that next layer off. Okay, it's getting a little sketchy, but I can still see essentially all the things that I wrote. Peel it off, peel it off, peel it off. It was 4 layers before it was like sketchy, just dots. Limited traces of trauma. If you do not heal your shit, you're going to pass it along. It was such a powerful activity, I'm telling you. Heal. What's healing got to do with it? Everything. It has everything to do with how you're living your life, how you're approaching things. If something scared you 2 years ago, you're likely not going towards that thing again. So it's limiting your reach, your behaviors, your ability to make friends. It's impacting how you love and show up in your relationships. My dad wasn't there. I didn't know what to do with a man. I knew I wanted one, but I was fucking it up. In the sense of, I did not know how to get the things that I needed. I did not know how to speak up for myself to say, this is what I need. This is what I want to have happen. And then when they decided that they didn't want to do that, or it was too much, or they did it for a little bit, then quit, I'm sticking around because all I saw is rider. I'm a rider. Like, you riding to your death, baby. Like, you riding and dying. You just riding and dying because they're leaving you out here. And you do not have the ability. You have not learned how to set boundaries. You are so fearful of being abandoned. You're so scared of speaking up for yourself and somebody saying no and losing that you'd rather just sit in silence and keep peeling layers of yourself off. And I'm going to stop saying y'all because that's what I did. That's what I did. Wearing masks in my relationships. They couldn't love me. They didn't know who they was loving anyway because I was performing, baby. I was being what I needed to be in order to stay in a relationship that was not serving me. How many of those have you been in? Is that what you're in right now? Boundaries. Once you start to heal, you will show yourself what you truly need. Because I also grew up with Barbies. I love Barbies. I had the Kens. I had the whole set. I had the swimming pool. I had everything. But it was a fucking setup. Because it showed me this fairy tale. Barbie and Ken were perfect. Barbie was able to have all these positions, all these titles. It take a lot of work to be an astronaut. It take a lot of work to be a president. It take a lot to run a business. This is the example I have of a relationship and what this looks like, and that I can go out and get my kid. My Prince Charming is coming. He about to ride in on his horse. No, That shit never came. It never happened. And I kept looking for it. I kept trying to make these trash ass experiences in life, in love, work. Staying at these jobs that are just, y'all don't care about me. You underpaying me and you want me to make magic out of nothing. I have nothing and you're unsupportive. That transferred to my mates and my partners in love. And ultimately, I saw my daughter at the age of 5 seeking love from outside of her house, outside of her father, wanting to be liked, so distracted at school by wanting to have friends when she's the motherfucking go. Like, everybody loves her. When we're together, all of my people, all of my friends, all my associates, where's Journey? Where's Journey? Like, baby, you don't see how amazing you are? No, not at all. Because you want to know what? I never did. I never saw how fucking amazing I am. And so I'm just trying to give it away. And I want to be chose. There was so much pride in being chosen that I never thought about fucking choosing myself. And that's where the confidence comes. That's where you're able to eliminate all those barriers and boundaries that have been created in our mind with shame and guilt to be accepted instead of accepting ourselves as we are with all the fucked upness and all the things that are going on. Because I did a lot of fucking up. But through healing, I figured out, like, baby, you needed to go through that to figure out where you were going. And now I know exactly what I'm not going to do, what I'm not going to accept, what I can. Because suppression leads to depression. And if I suppress my needs, if I do not show up for myself, if I do not create a safe space for me to create, for me to do my poetry, for me to write, for me to be free, and not be looking for somebody to say, oh, Danita, you did a great job. Oh, and just know that I did a fucking great job because I'm dope as fuck. I would be lost. I would still be lost, guilty, ashamed, and broken. Somebody's shit burning up. Hold on, just one minute. Oh, it's right here. I'm glad I'm at the end, but baby, my black family, my black kings, my black queens, it is so important for you to heal yourself. Your little people are watching you. Your friends are watching you. Your workplace, everybody's watching you to see what you do. And it is so important that you do what's best for you and not expect somebody else to do it for you, because they won't. They're going to do what's best for them and use you to reach their goals. What's healing got to do with it? Everything. Heal so that you can create a life that you love, surrounded by people who love you. Don't allow the patterns that you have been experiencing to continue to distract you from the process. Stop refusing the process. Unprocessed things get in the way of growth in your purpose. You are purposed. You are valued. Your family, your friends, your community, ultimately you need you. And you can only get to you if you heal. Black life, love, and legacy. Empowering, developing, and sustaining that. It's my mission. And I'll be here again on next Saturday with something else auspicious to add to the series. And I hope that you've been able to use my words to reach your level of success. Find some kind of favor within them. I have some links attached. Monthly, I do a conversation series between black men and black women. There are 20 seats, 10 men, 10 women. Balance, baby. And it's about healing conversations. It's called Intimate Conversations for Understanding. I see you. Our relationships are in a critical condition in our community, which is why I'm here, which is why I created a brave space for us to have the taboo conversations that we're not having around healing, but in a place where we can talk to each other. It's so often that black men are talking to black men, black women are talking to black women, and we don't ever come together to get understanding. But where do you go when something is in critical condition? The I see you. But it is also, I see you. I see you, black man, trying to carry it all, feeling like you have to do it all alone, feeling like you cannot be honest about the weight, that you cannot share your emotions, that you have to work for the love that you're receiving or not. Black woman, I see you trying to do it all, refusing to ask for help, thinking that nobody will understand, shameful, feeling guilty for shit that you cannot control. Baby, let that shit go. Let's talk about it. Intimate Conversations happen monthly. This month, it'll be on July 29th, Saturday. So 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Go check out the link. It is free. Please join us. We have food, great conversation, and camaraderie. You have to register for the balance. But July 29th, the next ICU, be there. My second link is for the Divas Brunch with Jazzy Ray. Fly Therapy. First Love Yourself Therapy is my therapy company in which we do individual, couples, or relationships in family therapy, consulting, and coaching. So check out that link down there, because if you want to attend this sold out ass brunch, there's some seats at my table, and I would love to share them with you. So inbox me if you want to attend this bomb ass brunch. Priority will be given to first timers. My first time was last year. I was late and missed a lot. So I want to make sure that so many more women are able to attend this amazing experience. Inbox me if you're interested. That brunch is next Saturday, July 22nd in the morning. So if you found value here, join me. Come hang out. Let's have some conversations. Bye.